Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So I'm Dan from Trading with Dan, and this is our morning Bitcoin update. So yeah, welcome to the new trading week. I'm looking forward to this week. I'm pretty positive on Bitcoin's price action and just generally market action at the moment. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting week, a good week for trading. So yeah, straight over to the Bitcoin chart. So so you can see we've broken through that 9,700 resistance level that we've had in the chart for quite a while. We tested back under it to around the middle of the zone, and then got fully rejected that, obviously, and then even made a higher high, even higher than this high here as well, actually, and then obviously more importantly higher than that one there that we made before. So we're now sort of resting on the top of that what is now a support zone, was our resistance zone. And also, I mean, I do basically have the caveat of the fact this trend line, this big macro trend line, because it's such a large time frame trend line, it obviously isn't necessarily going to be the most accurate. It's going to be in various different places, but how I have it, we're clearly above it at the moment. But yeah, just to be on more on obviously the conservative side. I mean, if we take out this resistance here, that itself will be bullish for Bitcoin, but also then I think we'll be clearly above this trend line no matter how anybody draws it. Which again, if I just go take you to the daily, it's obviously this trend line coming down from basically 20k. So obviously we can have pretty big fake outs above. This is the daily, pretty big fake outs above it, but this is just looking so constructive for larger term price action. I mean, we properly tested the lows of this. Like this was a savage hunt and stop hunt, and then we've been brought as close to immediately as you can get, almost all the way back up. Don't forget, markets will fall faster. They fall down the elevator shaft and they go up the escalator. So they it's harder for them to move up than it is for them to just collapse down. And I mean, you can see how quickly we still have moved up. And now we're just sat at these resistance lines, just sat chilling basically, not really getting rejected. When we do get a decent rejection, again, brought straight back up, and here we are, just sat at these highs, testing them again. I mean, there's nothing not bullish about this. There's nothing saying that we don't have a good chance of breaking through all this macro resistance. I mean, basically over 14k I mean, that's just a full change of behavior in the Bitcoin price, out of this lower low, clearly higher than this one, that would be clearly higher than this one as well, and I mean, in short order we will then be over 20k, because the difficulty from getting from 3.5k to basically over 14k will be a lot harder than it is to get from 14k to over 20k. So if we do this, then I mean you would even say it's going to be easier for us to get to 30k, 35k than it did to do that. So that is the upside. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, also we've got stock markets making decent recoveries and making highs, and they just won't be pinned down regardless of all the bearishness. We've got silver making a big move. Obviously we've had gold making a move anyway, but silver and the silver ratio, I think I did have it up, was coming below. Heading for under 100 again, and bear in mind this has been, this topped out at nearly 126 basically, and then I look how it did top out on nearly a daily 9 as well. So it's interesting there. Obviously we blasted through this one here, but that 9 never gave you a sell signal. It never gave you a red candle trading below another red candle, which this did. So at this point it would have been a clear sell, and look at that capitulation from that point. And I mean, we upset anyways. This is a Bitcoin video, guys, not a gold silver ratio, but what I'm saying is that how this is relevant to Bitcoin is that obviously gold is your first go-to safe haven, safe asset, but now people are now moving into other assets such as silver, which is that gold ratio, silver to gold ratio is telling us. It's telling us that previously people were only interested in gold. Now they're looking to diversify into other inverted commas safe haven assets. Yeah, that's it basically. That's what I'm saying. So some people may view Bitcoin as an alternative sort of safe haven asset. I know that it is obviously historically very correlated with the stock market, but the stock market is also going up too. So it's all looking very constructive, guys. That's all I can really say about this. So yeah, but we will have a look at what we are looking at on these smaller time frames. So yeah, again we are, I mean, this is just bullish. We consolidate up here. This clearly looks like a bull flag. This is an important area just because it's our recent high. And then yeah, it's got confluence coming back here. So if we do take out this zone, I would expect 10,500 in pretty short order, and then a consolidation around this zone, and then blasting through 10,500. That's literally what I'm seeing. We may consolidate up around here in this zone. We may come back and test this. It would make sense to come back and test this, even this 9,700 level. But we don't necessarily have to. But either way, as long as if we are trading between this sort of 9,800, well, call it 9,800 and 10,500 level, we trade between here. Then yeah, it is looking good. So 12-hour Stokes as well, we spoke about in the past videos, that they could turn back over, and I'm guessing the daily has now turned back up now. Yeah, the daily just turned back up too, just crossed back over as well, the slow faster one, crossing back over from the shorter one after we did have a bit of a fake out into it down there. So also we've got the RSI on this daily, looking to cross the exponential RSI here, as in the moving average, basically the exponential moving average of the RSI, back over that to go back up. So that's all looking very constructive too. And then weekly, I mean, yeah, I mean, this isn't a reversal candle. This isn't a reversal candle. This is an indecision candle. Obviously we're very early in the week. Basically it's a day, isn't it? But I mean, this last week's candle was a very bullish positive candle, and yeah, and that indecision candle was a point where we could have had a dip, but we didn't. We decided to resume the uptrend, so that's what we had, and that's great to see. So yeah, we'll have a look in the hour time frame, see what we're looking at. Getting a little bit of a dip in the price now, testing below this range, so we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I don't really see any reason why we can't constructively still come down to the mid 9,500s. I do think getting below there, it wouldn't be ideal for price action, getting below this region, because sort of this is our trend upwards. We've got this low here, sorry, this higher low here, this higher low here. So if we start to put in what isn't a higher low, so we come below this level, then potentially below here, then I do think it will look like Bitcoin can then maybe have a retest, potentially a bit lower, which could actually, I mean, the mid 8,000s would definitely be our first port of call. But I don't. That isn't my base case scenario. It's not what I'm necessarily thinking is the most likely. What I'm thinking is we sort of play this region out a bit. There's a possibility we could put in a head and shoulders here, a shorter time frame head and shoulders. We get back over, hang around here again for a bit, and that would pretty much have a projected move of down to around the mid 9,000s. So that, I think, as long as we bounce from there, it will be a pretty constructive area to have a bit of a bounce. So yes, overall, you guys can, I'm sure you can tell that I'm pretty positive on the price action at the moment. I mean, yeah, obviously lower term time frames, like we're having this bit of a move down here. 4-hour Stokes were starting to come down. Yeah, so 4-hour Stokes were looking a bit like they were gonna well, obviously have crossed over and maybe test a bit of downside. So yeah, maybe we will come back and even again test the mid 9,500s, but as long as we're sort of in a tightening range and we don't break below, well, around here, around this level here, it's sort of just a tightening flag pattern, and then I would expect that to continue with the trend. So yeah, over to the TD. There's literally nothing to see here on the TD sequential. Bearish wise, it's just constructive price action basically. There's no nines coming up. There's no anything that we need to worry about too much on the TD sequential, which is good because I don't like trading against this on the 412 or daily time frame. So there's no nines on the 412 or daily time frame. Don't know why it's not loading there. The reason why it's not loading, it just how was it on there and then it wasn't? I didn't even click over there. But anyway, yeah, you can see. Oh yeah, it's gone again. No, it hasn't. Yeah, so yeah, on the 4 hour, I guess the 4 hour we've got a red 2 trading below red 1, but again, this is what I said, the shorter time frames, you kind of see this pattern, and we can get into around this zone and then push up from there, and that'll be perfectly healthy. Yeah, so yeah, that's it today. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always do your own research, and then yeah, I will speak to you guys later on today.